Federal Bank is bracing for a bear markets in 2025, equipped with proprietary risk assessments we can only dream of. Are they manipulating the yield curves while keeping the untold truth about deflationary spirals and failing financial institutions under wraps? What hidden exposures and toxic assets do they know about that could trigger a global financial contagion? Warren Buffett, a legendary investor, has often shared his thoughts on the U.S. economy and trade. When Trump implemented his trade policies, including tariffs on imports from countries like China and Mexico, it sparked a lot of debate. Buffett's perspective is particularly valuable because he looks at the long-term effects on American companies and the economy as a whole. One of Buffett's main concerns revolves around tariffs. Tariffs are basically taxes on imported goods. While they might seem like a way to protect American jobs and manufacturing, they can also lead to higher prices for consumers. Another point Griffin emphasizes is the impact on global supply chains. These supply chains are complex networks that businesses use to get resources and make products and services. By imposing tariffs, Trump's trade policies disrupted these well-established networks. This disruption led to increased uncertainty and costs for businesses, forcing them to rethink their strategies. Instead of bringing jobs back to America, some companies moved their production to other countries to avoid the tariffs. This is the opposite of what the policies intended to achieve. Griffin also expressed concern about the potential for trade wars. When one country imposes tariffs on another, the other country often retaliates with its own tariffs. This can lead to a cycle of increasing tariffs and trade barriers that harm everyone involved. But Econ wasn't alone in the way he thinks. Some people argued that Trump's policies were necessary to protect American jobs and industries. They said that for too long, other countries had been taking advantage of the United States in trade. The idea was to level the playing field, even if it meant some short-term pain. Of course, there were also lots of critics. They worried about the impact on the global economy, the possibility of retaliation from other countries, and the effect on consumers. Some economists argued that tariffs ultimately hurt American businesses and consumers by raising costs and disrupting supply chains. Whether Trump's trade policies, viewed through Econ's lens, were a stroke of genius or a risky gamble is still up for debate. The long-term consequences are complex and depend on many factors, including how other countries respond and how businesses adapt. It is also difficult to predict and determine the long-run consequences of investments and how they will play out due to the economical sanctions, fiscal policies, and monetary policies. We didn't have time to explore every aspect of Econ's investment strategies or the full impact of these trade policies on specific industries. There is also the question of how much influence Econ had on Trump's thinking, and that remains largely unanswered. Also, the role that global leadership has played. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to keep watching more amazing content.